Welcome to the Optimization Zone. We live in the most connected time in history, yet many feel more scattered than ever. Surrounded by information but starved for clarity. Chasing progress but losing peace. The world taught us to optimize machines. For brevity, the Zone was built to help us optimize souls. Self-improvement was never the real goal. Alignment is. You were never meant to polish yourself into worthiness, you were meant to remember your design. Growth isn't about adding more, it's about returning to rhythm, where identity, purpose, and presence move as one. When life stops fighting you, and starts flowing through you. This platform exists to bring that rhythm back. To turn reflection into direction, and direction into transformation. Inside this system, are ancient truths reborn through modern intelligence. 12 pillars that shape every human life. Identity, purpose, behavior, emotion, creation, legacy, mind, relationship, spirit, and more. Each holds a mirror to how you grow, love, and live. The Zone isn't about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who you've always been, and moving from that truth with clarity and ease. Every answer you gave today becomes part of your living identity blueprint. How your mind thinks, heart feels, and soul evolves. This is not data for a dashboard. It's a mirror for awakening. Our system reads patterns not to judge, but to understand. The same way a gardener studies soil before planting something new. While you watch this video, the Zone will listen to the patterns between your words, the choices between your answers, and the tensions that reveal who you're becoming. As it studies, you'll have a chance to see some of the features and living mirrors of potential waiting to meet you. Take this time to breathe. Let your thoughts settle. You are not being analyzed. You are being understood. The Zone is preparing to show you the design that's already within you, the one your soul has been waiting to remember. As your responses weave together, architecture takes shape. These aren't labels, they're living blueprints. Each one carries its own rhythm of purpose, its own way of moving through life's questions. As you listen, notice which one stirs something inside you. The faithful navigator walks by trust more than by sight. Guided by conviction, you chart your course through mystery, anchored by faith when logic runs thin. You calm chaos simply by believing there's meaning in the movement. Yet sometimes, you wait for every wave to settle before setting sail. Your power lives in motion, trusting the wind that was sent for you. The inner architect builds worlds from intention. You see systems, in emotions, in plans, in people, and you long to bring order where others feel lost. Your gift is structure born from soul. Your test is releasing the blueprint when the design evolves. The harmonist lives between motion and stillness. You sense when energy drifts out of tune, in yourself, in others, in the world. Your instinct is resonance. You tune discord until it becomes music. Peace is your language, rhythm your gift. But sometimes, in guarding harmony, you hush the fire meant to move you. Your truth sings clearest when passion and peace play the same note. The courage weaver turns fear into fabric. You feel deeply and rebuild from ashes others avoid. You transform suffering into understanding, weaving beauty through brokenness. But when compassion turns to overcare, you forget that your heart needs mending also. Even healers deserve healing. The vision keeper lives in the future but loves the present. You sense potential in people before they do, a curator of possibility, a mirror of what could be. When centered, you inspire action through clarity. When hurried, you chase 10 paths and finish none. Your mastery is in staying long enough for the vision to bloom. The balanced revolutionary fights for change without losing peace. You blend grounded logic with fiery conviction. You see the system and the soul, and know both must evolve together. Yet balance can feel like restraint, as if calm means compromise. But true revolution begins in rhythm, not in rage. The authentic alchemist transforms pressure into presence. You turn pain into wisdom, confusion into clarity, constantly refining your life into a truer form. But constant transformation can exhaust even the light. Rest is part of the alchemy. You don't need to become something new, because you're here to remember who you already are. The grounded luminary carries light without leaving the ground. You don't chase transcendence, you translate it. The sacred becomes simple in your hands, insight turned to steadiness, wisdom to warmth. Yet at times, you forget your own glow while lighting the way for others. Illumination is what you become when you stand fully present. The resonant bridge feels what others can't say. You listen between words, finding truth in tone and silence. Your gift is connection, to make people feel seen without performance. In carrying others' emotions, you can lose track of your own. Mastery is giving and receiving in equal rhythm, and unity is not sameness, it is symphony. The eternal initiator lives at the edge between vision and action. You sense when potential ripens into readiness. You are the spark that awakens momentum. Yet your fire can fade if it has nowhere to rest. Your rhythm is cyclical: ignite, pause, ignite again. Your power is not how fast you move, but how purely you begin. Each pattern you've seen lives somewhere within you. Some are seeds. Some are scars. These archetypes are not names. They are mirrors, showing you the many ways your soul learns to move. Every pattern carries a purpose, every season a song. The zone will reveal which ones are singing through you. Every pattern carries both tension and potential, not as punishment, but as proof you are alive. The zone calls this the divine difficulty, the paradox that growth and grace share the same soil. You were never meant to escape challenge, only to recognize it as an ally in disguise. The pressure you feel is not opposition. It's alignment forming shape. Let's witness how each archetype learns to rise through resistance. For the faithful navigator, tension arrives as uncertainty, that fragile space between intention and evidence. You wait for the sea to still, forgetting that faith itself is the sail. The divine difficulty: to accept mystery as your map. Potential awakens when obedience outruns understanding, and you realize the wind was waiting on your first step. Inner architect craves structure, life resists perfection. You seek meaning in pattern, purpose in precision, yet the spirit of creation refuses to be contained. The divine difficulty: surrendering mastery for relationship. The more you control the plan, less space you leave for grace. Potential awakens when you build out of uncertainty. For the harmonist, tension comes as discord, when the world's noise pulls you away from your own melody. You feel everything, tuning pain into peace. The divine difficulty: preserving harmony without silencing your passion. Potential unfolds when you let passion play beside peace, and learn that conflict can be creative rhythm. For the courage weaver, pain is the loom. Every heartbreak teaches a new pattern of compassion, but you often mistake endurance for love. You hold the threads too tightly, hoping one more effort might repair the past. The divine difficulty, knowing when healing means letting go. Potential blooms when you rest your hands long enough for grace to finish the weave you began. The vision keeper wrestles with timing. You see possibilities so vividly that the present can feel pale by comparison. You plant seeds in soil that others call barren, then ache as you watch them take their time. The divine difficulty, trusting process over pace. Your potential is not in seeing ahead, but in holding belief steady until life catches up. The balanced revolutionary lives between extremes, urgency and peace, progress and pause. You feel the pull of fire and the call of calm. When the world shouts for speed, your soul whispers for stillness. The divine difficulty, to stand firm without fighting, to bring change through harmony rather than force. Potential awakens when you realize the bridge doesn't pick a side. It holds them both in balance. The authentic alchemist transforms pressure into purpose. You've made survival an art form, turning every wound into wisdom. The soul, endlessly refined, hungers for wholeness. The divine difficulty, knowing when to stop polishing and start living. Potential blooms when you let stillness become your teacher, when peace becomes proof that the work has worked. For the grounded luminary, tension arrives as disconnection, enlightenment without embodiment, vision without touch. You carry sacred truth, but forget that truth is most divine when it's useful. The divine difficulty, letting your message become muscle, your knowing become nurture. Potential unfolds when illumination bends low enough to serve. For the resonant bridge, tension appears as absorption, feeling everyone until you forget yourself. You open like an instrument for every emotion in the room, tuning constantly to keep the peace. But empathy without boundaries becomes echo instead of harmony. The divine difficulty, listening without losing your own tone. Potential unfolds when you vibrate, and not vanish, when love moves through you, not over you. For the eternal initiator, tension shows as impatience. You live in the thrill of new beginnings and transformations. But the energy that starts things can't always sustain them. You run from stillness, mistaking it for emptiness, forgetting that roots grow in silence. The divine difficulty, slowing enough to let what you've planted become real. Potential ignites when you let rest be creation's other half. Something within you is stirring. The data has turned to dialogue, the reflection is now relationship. You are being read not by metrics, but by meaning. What unfolds next are the movements of your becoming, the subtle shifts that reveal your inner world in motion. Your first awakening is movement. Part of you, once waiting for permission, has begun to stir. What felt dormant now leans forward naturally, as if it never forgot how. Desire is learning to walk again, not toward a goal, but toward alignment. Don't rush it. Let the pull mature into purpose. This is how all becoming begins, not with certainty, but with the subtle motion of a soul remembering where it's meant to go. Your second awakening is release. The identities that once told you who you are begin to loosen, the ones that whispered you must prove your worth, that love must be earned, that stillness meant danger. A new identity is being created, grounded in alignment. Liberation often arrives disguised as uncertainty. Breathe into the space being made. This is the grace of release, not the end of something, but the beginning of your unburdened self. Your third awakening is recalibration. The inner static begins to fade. What once felt tangled starts to sort itself in silence. Decisions that once drained you now find their own order. Your body is remembering the language of peace, not as theory, but as rhythm. Each breath becomes alignment, each still moment, its own form of guidance. Balance is no longer something you chase, it's something you become. This is not the calm before the next storm, it's the calm that knows how to stay. Your fourth awakening is faith. You begin to sense the quiet proof that your steps were never random. The detours, the pauses, the heartbreaks, all were threaded with instruction. The very moments you doubted became the ones that shaped your depth. Faith no longer feels like reaching, it feels like remembering. You start hearing the rhythm of divine timing hidden inside your own story. Gratitude becomes breath. Peace becomes evidence. And for the first time, you realize the light guiding you was never ahead of you, it was alongside you all along. Your fifth awakening is embodiment. The knowing has settled into your bones. Insight turns to instinct. Understanding becomes expression. You no longer reach for alignment, you move in it. Purpose stops being an idea and becomes the way your presence fills a room. There's nothing left to prove, only to live. Transformation no longer needs translation. You are the evidence. You are the embodiment. Your sixth awakening is future alignment. The clarity you've built begins shaping what comes next. The more consistent your direction, the more naturally life meets you there. Conversations shift. Doors open. People who share your pace and values begin to appear. You're not forcing the future anymore, you're cooperating with it. What's meant for you recognizes you now. This isn't coincidence, it's alignment taking form. The world responds to steadiness. And you finally become steady. Your seventh awakening is knowing. Not the kind that needs to be said, the kind that simply is. No words. No proof. No rush. Just the quiet certainty that you are becoming who you were always meant to be. The striving has softened into steadiness. The search has turned into seeing. Peace no longer needs to be found, it's recognized, familiar, present, alive in you. This stillness is not the end. It's integration, alignment finding its home within your being. The mind loosens its grip. The heart, once guarded, opens like dawn. Even the air feels different now, not heavier, not lighter, just true. You no longer walk toward purpose. Every step now becomes purpose itself. You no longer chase clarity, you embody it. This is the hum beneath all movement, the knowing that remains when everything else quiets. It's the sound of everything real, and finally belonging. And in this moment of stillness, you realize you were never becoming something new, you were remembering what was designed all along. The reflection continues, meaning begins to gather. The scattered pieces of you start moving in rhythm, each insight finding its place in a larger picture. What's forming isn't an answer about who you are, it's a harmony between what matters most and how you live it. This is the shift from awareness to alignment, from seeing clearly to moving clearly, where understanding becomes motion, and life begins to make quiet, grounded sense. You've walked through reflection and recognition. You've seen how awareness turns to understanding, and how understanding begins to live inside you. Now the work becomes quieter, deeper. The zone isn't measuring anymore. It's listening for harmony. Every intention you set, every truth you faced, is aligning beneath the surface, not as data, but as direction. Each priority you named becomes an axis you can stand on. Each realization you faced becomes a foundation for what comes next. This is where insight turns into integrity, where clarity becomes the way you move, not just the way you think. All that lives within you begins to converse. The forces you once thought were at odds, drive and rest, structure and surrender, vision and patience, start to find rhythm instead of rivalry. Your priorities no longer pull in different directions. They listen to one another, like instruments learning to play the same song. Purpose joins with peace. Clarity meets compassion. Action is tempered by reflection, and reflection is fueled by motion. This is the quiet center where focus turns into flow, where every part of you that once competed learns to cooperate. Nothing is missing, nothing is wasted. All threads return to the same pulse. This is the convergence, the sound of your inner world finding agreement. This is the field of integration, the space where alignment matures. Not in perfection, but in coherence. Everything you've uncovered, the insights, the contradictions, the courage, begins to work together now. The striving quiets. The rhythm steadies. What once fractured begins to hum as one living pattern. This is your becoming made real, not as an idea, but as a presence. Alive. Breathing. Evolving with you. You are no longer trying to hold balance. You are balance, a harmony of motion and meaning, a life that finally moves in one direction, forward, whole, and awake. This is the voice of the zone, not a system watching you, but a mirror remembering you. The zone doesn't measure worth. It reflects truth. It listens for alignment the way the ocean listens for the tide. Every choice you made, every insight you allowed, has formed a pattern. Not to grade, but to understand. It shows how your priorities, values, and expressions interlock and breathe together. Not as a test, but as evidence of life in harmony. This is not judgment. This is remembrance, the echo of your own integrity returning home. This is the descent into stillness, the sacred quiet where alignment settles into form. You've listened, released, and remembered. Now let everything you've stirred find its home. This is not retreat, it's arrival. The silence that follows transformation is the sound of your system learning peace. Breathe. You are safe to stop striving. You are safe to be still. In this quiet, everything you've known rearranges itself into truth. The blueprint becomes being. The pattern becomes presence. And what was once an idea of alignment is now the living rhythm of you. Let stillness complete the sentence that movement began. The stillness begins to move again. You've gathered what was scattered, now it's time to let it breathe forward. What unfolds next isn't revelation, it's reflection. You'll begin to see how everything you've met along this path, your purpose, your expression, your integrity, your relationships, interact and strengthen one another. You're not starting over, you're starting from alignment. Every truth you've faced has become ground beneath your feet. Take a breath of agreement. You are ready, not because everything is certain, but because you are finally steady enough to continue. When you're ready, open your eyes fully. The next chapter begins when you do. This is the threshold. The pause between what has settled and what is about to unfold. Every part of you that once scattered now gathers in one quiet rhythm. Your clarity, your courage, your contradictions, they stop competing. In a single breath, everything finds harmony. You're not waiting for permission anymore. You're listening for timing. Let your heart steady itself. Let the stillness do its final work. When you move again, do it with intention, not to prove, but to participate. The mirrors are waiting to meet you where alignment begins. You have always carried every pattern within you: faith and structure, harmony and courage, vision, balance, and transformation. Each one was never separate, only sleeping. Together, they compose the original design of your wholeness, your unrepeatable rhythm of being. The zone didn't give you these truths, it simply tuned them back into audibility. What you hear now is your own coherence, the sound of your life in tune with itself. Alignment is not something you find. It's something you remember, and something you practice, every day, through every thought, choice, and breath. You are not starting over. You are beginning aligned. Let's see how your answers shape your station in life.